I'm just going to share with you another tip that I found. You know, you often look at your work as you're stitching. I mean, I have in the past and thought, why is it that my stitches don't just lie really neatly? And then you look at other people's work and it looks amazing and it's all tidy. And it's just like, well, why doesn't mine look like that? And then I found, uncovered a tip, which I'm going to share with you today. And this is called railroading. Now, I'm going to show you how to railroad both legs of your cross stitch, but I always just railroad the top layer every time. So no matter what piece I'm stitching on, I'll always railroad the top layer of the stitch, because this is the one that predominantly you see. The one that lies underneath you maybe don't see as well. But I will always railroad both when I'm stitching in white DMC floss. And I don't know what it is about white DMC floss, but it just never seems to lay very well at all when you're working with it. So this method will actually help you get neater stitches, especially when you're working with white DMC, but also in general as you're working on your cross stitch pieces. So I'm going to zoom us in and then I'm going to show you what this railroading is all about. I'll catch you soon. So following on from the first video I did about different ways of starting, you railroad only when you're stitching with 2 strands of cotton or thread. So I'm going to start with the loop method. This is my favourite way of starting when I'm working with 2 strands of floss. What this enables me to do is not actually have to flip over the work, which is great. It saves me time and effort, and I can do everything from the front. So that's my loop method. So there we are, we're through. So now I'm going to show you how to railroad the top layer of this particular stitch. So you're going to come up and then you can see how the thread naturally splits. So I'm going to take my needle straight through the middle of those 2 strands of thread and then pass through the top layer and then just pull. And then what you'll find is both strands of cotton will sit side by side. So I'm going to come up and make another stitch and I'll show you how to railroad the bottom and the top. So we've pulled up and again you can see where the cotton splits. I'm going to just put my needle through the middle there like so, and then I'm going to pull that straight down into the top right hand corner of that stitch. And again your floss will lay side by side. So if I come up the back side of this stitch here, so I'm just going to pull those apart. They're sitting side by side now and they're going to lay really flat. As I said, this is great for when you're working with white, but I will always railroad the top of every stitch, the top leg. So I'm going to come back up in between the middle and then down through the top. I'll show you one more time just for completeness. Through the middle of those stitches. It does take a little bit more time initially, but once you get going with it, it's no difference in terms of speed. But the results you get are so much nicer. You get uniform stitches each time and everything lays perfectly. And then once again, in between, down and through. So that's how you railroad for neater stitches. I hope that helps. Take care guys. Bye for now.